I pretty much very recently started work on the contour drawings that I'm supposed to do by class in art on Tuesday. This is what I have so far. This current one that I'm working on is of the bottom. I was instructed to do contour drawings of the same shoe, so I assume by that I do it at different angles of the same shoe, which I in particular chose because it seemed to be a relatively simple shoe to do. You do contours by feeling what you're drawing as you draw it. And the intention behind it is that you feel the shoe and look at it closely. And this method is intended to get you to really closely look at whatever you're drawing. I've only just completed 1 out of 5 contour drawings I need to do by Tuesday, roughly 2 p.m. Although the thing is, I then need to do 5 blind contour drawings, which are harder because for contour drawings you can look at the paper in order to add in some detail. Though obviously you're not supposed to add in all of the detail. And it'll be up for La Professora to decide whether I did too much detail for my contour and blind contour drawings or not. Either way, the important thing is that I practice. These are au gratin mashed potatoes. Au gratin potatoes. But they were so clustered together that they honestly looked like a lump of mashed potatoes. From 12:20 p.m. to 1:10 p.m., I had my my national security class. Of which today's lecture involved the start of talking about the causes of war. Today in particular of interstate war, or war between two states. Generally speaking, I will either make trips either to get lunch and dinner from Harrison Dining Hall or to go to in-person classes. When I do this, I typically leave via the stairs and return via the elevator. I find that method to be most effective and I've been doing it that way for a pretty long time. I got lunch at 11 p.m. or before my national security class. I will have to get lunch at approximately 12:30 p.m. tomorrow because my intermediate Spanish 2 class starts at 11 p.m., which is the exact same time that lunch at Harrison Dining Hall starts. And even though the class ends at 12:15 p.m., I give myself the extra 15 minutes to account for the time it takes to travel from the Liberal Arts Building to the Harrison Dining Hall building. Which is extra appropriate when considering that there is currently a construction area at the front of the Harrison building, which further lengthened the prescribed path into the Harrison building. I now have enough carnival artifacts to get the sleigh or sled up to level 7 with the addition of that newest carnival artifact. You can just enchant them and get 1,500 spell fragments. Excuse me. Though I don't consider that a worthy trade, when you throw in the fact that there's a finite number of carnival artifacts, and the 9 you need to get it all the way up to level 10 is typically the most you can possibly get during one of these events if you really, really push yourself and ultimately resort to using time boosters and whatnot in order to achieve the goal. This has a chance of giving me a bunch of knowledge points. In fact, it's quite likely to do so. Activating this technology, that I did so because I got researching a technology was part of an earlier task set. It's ultimately why I did so. But I would place down the city expansion either so I could afford the sled. Thank goodness. But thing is, I don't have the gold right now to afford placing that research expansion down. I'm currently working on... I did some more work on the 99th Dan Hamming today. But I'm currently at the point where I'm gonna be making a Bandicam video, as I've done in the past before, using Bandicam to record basically these animations in Wrapper Offline, which is essentially what I've done in order to put non-business characters back into my Go Animate videos, or technically Vyond videos as they're now called these days, since I believe I still primarily use Vyond. A Vyond video still makes up the backbone of these Dan Hamming episodes. It's just that some more steps are required in order to ultimately achieve the desire I want to achieve. At some point, on the part I'm currently working on, I'm going to have to add a little shake to it. Because of me having to add in these props onto the Camtasia timeline, I believe I'm going to need to find another program in order to add in the effect I desire, or that I have in mind for the video plan. I'm almost finished with my VHL Central assignment for tonight. I literally got down to the very last activity I had to do. In the hours before I went off to get lunch. And I've just put in park ever since. I uploaded the footage of the aftermath of my 21st blood donation. Today, making it a TJM vlog as I always do. Calling it Red 21. 21 being Spanish for 21. And I'm hoping that I spelled it correctly. I also did some work today, catching up on my dinner uploads. And that requires editing the videos together using the LiQWYD video editor I have on my mobile phone. Camtasia is what I have on this laptop. And just so the LiQWYD conversion process doesn't stall, I actually use my phone. Typically, by playing Bloons Tower Defense 6. A game of it. Lately, I've been trying to use the combo of Open Greenfoot plus an avatar of Wrath Druid plus a bunch of other druids on generally the same path combo, doing it in the same basic strategy. There's the same hard mode on intermediate maps. And so far I've found it is possible if you necessarily adjust and ensure that you aren't distracted by things like working on the 99 Dan Hamming on Camtasia. I ended up being pretty surprised when I found out there's no Camtasia video of Kent sleeping in his sleepy bag. It turns out I made a LiQWYD prop of that. Possibly out of a rapper online video I just never took Bandicam footage of. Because in order to ultimately make the things I turn into LiQWYD props, I use the snipping tool. Software I find on my laptop offline in order to do that. I was told that this sauce that's on top of the Haddock Casino, it's brown sugar, breadcrumbs, and onions. And it tastes pretty good. When I looked up earlier today and saw vegan mac and cheese, but no, white cheddar mac and cheese, I thought there would still be white cheddar mac and cheese. Because so often when I saw vegan mac and cheese on the menu, I also saw white cheddar mac and cheese. Still, it was still perfectly fine. The Haddock Casino and everything else tastes pretty good. Excuse me. Although I do still have leftovers from, I believe, yesterday's dinner. Mostly consisting of the vegetable scampi in my mini fridge. Because at the time, after eating about, I think, half of it, I felt that I was too full to eat any more of it. I believe that's the thought process I underwent at the time. Excuse me. And here's where I currently stand in regards to the Watchtower Ruins, which is currently the only unlocked ancient wonder I haven't built into my city in Elvenar yet.